Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to week 18 of the DC Sports Digest. If you haven't already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. No news for the Nationals, but spring training I think starts this week, so hopefully I'll have some news for next week about spring training. The Wizards, I actually have probably the most news for them this week. Lost 3 games to the Suns, Cavs, and Celtics. Suns, they got blown out. Bradley Beal scored 43 on us. Cavs, they lost. And then Celtics, I watched a bit of the game last night. It was pretty close. And Jordan Poole after I think he had 0 points against the Cavs, had 19 first half points against the Celtics, and then had 0 in the second half or something like that. So it's just inconsistency. Obviously, not the best situation for him. But yeah, a lot of people were doing well. Bilal had a career high 21 points. Or not KP. Why did I put KP? I'm sorry about that. Kispert. And Denny played well. Actually, KP did play well against us. He had like 35 or something. Yeah, that technically was true. Just not wrong team, but. Yeah, Kispert was playing really well. He's really just elevated that game from just being a shooter. He's really been driving, had some nice dunks. Same with Denny. Great to see them playing well because hopefully we keep around some of them. I don't know what Michael Winger and that front office think of their future, but it's definitely an evaluation year, and we already know a little bit about that because of the trade deadline. Daniel Gafford was traded to the Mavs for Rashawn Holmes, who is available tonight. Again, sorry it's kind of late. The game started right now, but I don't want to do this at 9:30 or 10 at night. So, yeah, the game is probably just started when I'm recording this. And actually a late first round. It's obviously sad to see him go, but I think it's a decent trade. And yeah, like I mentioned, we're playing 76ers right now. The game probably just started. And then we'll have a matchup against Daniel Gafford on the Mavericks and the Pelicans coming up before All-Star break, but I really shouldn't have any worries. Like with the Capitals, I kind of recap the same thing. But with the Wizards, it's not really an issue because I'll recap these games next week, and then by that time, there'll be more games the week after that. So won't really miss a beat because of the All-Star break. And on to the Capitals. The reason, honestly, I didn't do this early because they were playing the Bruins. So they lost to the Canadiens and the Panthers, but they actually beat the Bruins. It's just typical Capitals hockey, where they lose to the not great teams like the Canadiens. I think the Panthers are decent, but they beat like the Bruins, who are like probably one of the best teams in the NHL this year. So I won 3-0 on a shutout. And another thing I'll note probably is Obi's, after really honestly a slow start, he's starting to pick up at least a little bit. He's had I think a game 4-game streak with goals, and I think now he has the most. He passed Gretzky for the most empty net goals. So congratulations to him. Hopefully that streak keeps going because we kind of need it. Our schedule is not getting any easier, especially with the Canucks tomorrow. They are also a very good team this year, and the Avalanche are pretty solid too. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And on to the Commanders. Still a lot of news as Dan Quinn starts to build a staff there. A lot of new hires I missed out on. The first one is the offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, which I think is a really solid hire. And people are like, oh, maybe it's related to getting Caleb. A lot of rumors going around about that, but he was a senior offensive analyst at USC with Caleb Williams. But I'm really not sure. I think whoever we go with will be great. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think just one way it's oh yeah, it could definitely happen, but the Bears are gonna want a lot because of who's going first overall. So we'll see what happens. I already mentioned Joe Witt. That was confirmed this week. We got a new special teams coordinator, Larry Izzo, who's from the Seahawks. They had some very good units. That's very solid. QB coach Tavia Pritchard. I think he was already on our staff, but a lot of other teams wanted him, but we were able to get him to stay here. Defensive passing game coordinator Jason Simmons, a solid coaching pickup from, I think it was from the Raiders. And then Brian Johnson, the Eagles offensive coordinator, is going to have a prominent offensive role that maybe offensive passing game coordinator or something like that. Again, another solid hire. I think it's just because like people like Cliff Kingsbury or Brian Johnson, you're like, oh, those aren't maybe the best choices, but for their positions, like where they're actually on, like Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator, or Brian Johnson as like not calling plays and just being like just coaching, I guess, like they're in positions to succeed. So I think they're solid. They're all really solid hires, and Dan Quinn's really done a great job of, building the staff. Because like we were like, oh, we want Mike McDonald, but I feel like him in Seattle, I mean, they're starting to build a staff, but like Dan Quinn just has like what I've heard, has just a lot more connections to everyone. Like he can just like a phone call away from getting some people, like since he's a little more experienced. I mean, obviously, good to have a young head coach too, but I think Dan Quinn is still a really good hire. I think he just really, it's just about having that second chance. He really was excited to have a second chance, and he's definitely taken advantage. That's really all for the Commanders. I just wanted to shout out Chase Young and Trent Williams and Adam Peters because he's going to get a ring if the 49ers win, and good luck to them. I'm definitely rooting for the 49ers, even though definitely not an ideal Super Bowl. All right, that's all I have today, so thank you guys for watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.